This is from Home Bargains. This is £5.99. It's a Cox's Orange Pippin. Comes in a wrap. The roots wrapped with cellophane, so I think it's fair to say that this is almost bare rooted. With these apple trees from Home Bargains is that they don't have on the label what the rootstock is, so I've no idea really what they're going to grow into. These are the apples I bought again from B&M, Home Bargains and B&Q, and I've tried to put the ones that are self-pollinating in a row and ones that need a pollinator next to each other, but I haven't got necessarily a pair of the same ones. I'll go through which ones need pollinators and which don't in a minute. It's Monday the 25th of March. It's a completely ruined day by the weather, as it is in Britain so often, but these are my Golden Delicious. This is, I think I've got 3 of these, or maybe even 4. These are starting to bud. Now, I think 1 or 2 of these might have bolted in the shop. See if I can zoom in on those. Now, what does it say about Golden Delicious? These are not self-pollinators. Woohoo! So we need to have them next to somebody else who's going to pollinate. I don't think we've got any chance this year because the weather is so naff that we haven't got any bees. But anyway, there's these 3 Golden Delicious which I wanted to introduce to you. Right, these are my Granny Smiths. Well, they're not my grannies, but they're Granny Smiths, and they've come into leaf as well. And like I say, they've got some nice buds, but I'm worried about them being a little bit of a bolter. Now, these are not self-pollinating either, so these ones have probably bolted in the shop, and this one hasn't. So this one doesn't look too clever at all, actually. I might have got a dead one. And similarly with this, whatever they've got going for them, it's not today. Now this is a nice, interesting one. I think I've only got 1 of him. This is a John Grieve, and it's starting to bud. So he's a good one. This one's called Freedom. Always think of Freedom songs. Now this one's Jonagold. Now Jonagold is a triploid, and a triploid means that there are 3 versions of the genetic information, and most animals are diploids, and most plants are diploids, but this one's got 3, and that makes them sterile, so they need to be cross-pollinated with something else. Here's another Jonagold. just starting to come into bud. See if I can get that in focus. It's a miserable day. Now this is a John Gold that I got from B&Q, and it's got a bit more information, which is great. It says that it was grafted on an M26. So thank you to B&Q for that information. These ones come from somewhere else. I can't remember whether this is B&M or I'll tell you in a second. This is I think this one is from Home Bargains, and there's no information on it. So, but anyway, it's starting to bud. And another one from Home Bargains, John Gold, which isn't got 13 in this row, and from my calculation they're all got at least one bud. Some of them are budding very, very well. This is L-Star, and that's starting to show a little bud there. It's the Eye of Faith. I don't know whether you believe us or not, but that looks like a bud at all. Oh, this L-Star's got plenty of buds. I'm very impressed. I think I've got me £7 worth there, as this one has, and also this one. The one I've just shown you there is Empire, and I don't know much about that, so I'm going to have a look at it. These are Cox's Orange Pippins, showing no signs of life, but this one is Cox's Orange Pippin and shows a bit of leaf. So at the moment I've got what looks to me like 33 apples planted, and I would say that certainly 30 to 40% of those have got some leaf, which is a great sign. I'm looking forward to the flowers. Hello, it's the 11th of April. This is one of the apple trees, John Gold, and it's producing some nice healthy flowers. They're pretty, if I can get them in focus. This is also John Gold, a little bit behind the previous one. I've had some incredibly wet weather. I'm standing in about 2 inches of water on the lawn here, and I'm pleased that I didn't put these in the ground. I think the roots would have been damaged. This one that I'm looking at here is called Gala, and it's just starting to get some buds on it. Here's a John Gold that doesn't look as if it's got any shoots at all, so might be one for the bin later. We'll give it a few months. This is Cox's Orange Pippin, and it's looking relatively healthy. This is L-Star, and it's also looking quite reasonable. Plenty of leaf coming on there. Got 5 Golden Delicious. 4 out of the 5 have got leaves, and the 5th one has a bud, but no flowers yet. I wanted to show you how much water there's been standing in the garden. It hasn't rained today, but look at this. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Hello, it's the 25th of April 2024, and Jackie's had an ingenious idea. In fact, it's not often I would say that Jackie could be a genius, but I think she has been on this occasion. She's been reading about how lavender attracts bees and other insects, flying insects, and we've decided to buy some lavender, actually from Asda, and we're putting it amongst the fruit trees. So here is some Asda's finest lavender. I think it's £8 per whatever you want to call it, shrub, and we're looking forward to getting bees and other flying insects to come and have a look at it. It's Sunday the 4th of August, and this apple tree has some apples. They're not marvellous, but at least it's got some apples. But it's also flowering again. Now, what on earth's happening here? You can see the apple behind it, and also the the new flower, which will presumably produce some apples as well if it gets cross fertilised. Hello, it's the 28th of September 2024. Moved the apple trees around a little bit to try and get in to cut the grass, but unfortunately it's been torrential rain since then. But you know, some of them have done quite well, some of them are not so good. I would say, as a rough guide, the ones from B&Q have grown the tallest. Here's a couple of little apples that we've got on a tree that's I think this one's James Grieve, the actual tree itself. The apples are not so good, they're a bit damaged. I think that might be scab or spot or something like that. I'll have to look it up. Remember, this tree had a second set of flowers, and these are the results of the second set. They don't have the damage, the disease or the fungus from the first lot. This variety is actually Sunset, again from B&Q. It was £26, reduced to 12 when I bought it in the autumn. Now, we've had some problems with squirrel, well, one squirrel I've seen anyway, a little grey squirrel, which has managed to steal what little fruit we had. So next year I'm going to consider some fruit cages and try and make some. But I would say that in terms of survival, we've lost about 10% of the apples, which most of the ones from B&M and Home Bargains were only £6 each, so I haven't lost a fortune. But I'm a bit disappointed with the actual state of the fruit, and perhaps I'm going to have to find something to spray them with in the spring next year. Morning, it's April 2025, and we're going to make a fruit cage. This is going to be made out of Harris fencing, which we've got plenty spare, and it's hopefully going to keep the squirrels away from my fruit, because they demolished absolutely everything, every last bit of fruit last year. So let's see what we do. I made a video earlier in the year about building the fruit cage, so I'm not going to go through every bit of that again. These are the feet which I showed you in the video of making the fruit cage. These are the apples. They're now inside the terrace fencing. Well, we were going to make a orchard, but we've ended up with a fruit cage and tubs. So the best laid plans of mice and men, I think it was Robert Burns said. Well, Jackie got her own way with the black debris netting. I would have been happy with green, but she wanted black. David being a good help with the netting. Hello everybody, it's the 21st of July 2025. Last year we had a couple of little apples on the apple trees that were planted, and the darn squirrels got them, but this year Jackie and I have set up a fruit cage, and hopefully we can keep them out of the way. These are some of the apples that we're getting so far. They're green and a couple of tinges of red, and there's plenty of them. They're everywhere. So hopefully they'll get to fruit in another month or two. Hopefully we'll get to taste the fruit very soon. I did some summer pruning, which I had never heard of till I watched a YouTube video, and that seems to have done really wonders for these apples, because they've put on far more growth in the right direction, as opposed to growing upwards and making us, a strong tree. But we don't want a strong tree, we just want fruit to grow in tubs.